The night was supposed to be quiet, but when it comes to love and hiphop.com, never lasts long. In one shocking moment, Sierra turned what should have been an easy conversation into a storm of confusion that left Yandy furious and fans stunned. Cameras caught Sierra stumbling through a half-drunk confession, claiming she had heard a recording of Mendeecees saying something suspicious. But instead of laying it out clearly, she danced around the details, refusing to share what was actually said. What came out was a messy half-story that cut Yandy like a dagger, sparking questions about her marriage and loyalty in front of everyone. What recording? What are you even talking about? Yandy demanded, her voice rising as she tried to make sense of Sierra's cryptic words. But Sierra kept repeating, I don't want to be the reason for a divorce, leaving Yandy even more enraged. To fans, it looked like the ultimate setup, a drunk friend stirring the pot with no receipts, no clarity, and no accountability. When Yandy snapped back, emotions ran wild, accusations flew across the table, and the friendship these women once had was now hanging by a thread. Sierra's words slurred like puzzle pieces, and the more she tried to explain, the less sense it made. She leaned in, eyes glassy, voice dropping, like she was revealing a secret. I heard something. I heard a recording of your husband saying something. The room froze. Yandy blinked twice, confusion crossing her face before anger swept over. Saying what? She demanded sharply, her patience thinning. But Sierra backpedaled, shaking her head as if she regretted even bringing it up. I don't want to get into detail, girl. I just don't want to be the cause of no divorce. The cast gasped, and fans at home nearly screamed at their screens. How could she drop a bomb like that and then refuse to explain? Yandy's nostrils flared as she leaned forward. No, no, no. You're not about to throw my husband's name into some rumor without telling me exactly what you heard. Where's the proof? What recording? Who said it? Sierra stammered, words tangling. I don't. I mean, I'm just saying there's stuff. Things you might not know about. Yandy threw her hands in the air, exasperated. Stuff. Things you sound like a broken record. If you don't have facts, don't bring me nonsense. Viewers later said Yandy's reaction was the realest moment of the night. She wasn't just angry at the rumor, she was angry at the betrayal. This was supposed to be her friend. Instead, she got a sloppy drunk monologue that painted her husband in a bad light. And it wasn't just Yandy who noticed. Castmates whispered under their breath, exchanging looks. Someone muttered, she's pulling a Karlie Red, a reference that sent shockwaves through the fandom. For years, Karlie had built a reputation for stirring the pot with half-truths and messy storytelling. Now, Sierra was being crowned Karlie 2.0, right in front of everyone. Fans online echoed the sentiment. One tweet read, Sierra acting like drunk Karlie. Another said, if you got receipts, show them. If not, keep it to yourself. Hashtags like hashtag Karlie 2.0 and hashtag no clarity started trending before the episode even ended. Back in the moment, Yandy's frustration only grew. She pulled out her phone, scrolling frantically as if to find texts or calls that could shut down the accusation. Any information I need to know about my husband, I already know. You're not telling me anything new. What you're doing is messy, and I don't do messy. But Sierra wouldn't stop. Even in her confused state, she kept circling the same vague point. I just think you should, be aware. Sometimes they say things you don't know. Yandy snapped, her voice rising. Girl, I talk to my husband every single day. If he sneezes, I know about it. Don't come to me with sometimes men. Come with facts, with receipts. Otherwise, you're just planting doubt. The tension was unbearable. The cameras zoomed in on every reaction, every side comment. Karlie herself sat back smirking, enjoying that someone else was in the hot seat. But she couldn't escape criticism either. Viewers at home dragged her for her latest appearance, saying her face distracted from the storyline. Karlie looking like a whole new person while Sierra tries to be her understudy. One fan wrote, through it all, Yandy tried to hold her composure, but her voice shook. Do you know what happens when you throw out half stories? You create drama for no reason. You give people the power to laugh at my marriage, to question my family. And you didn't even tell me straight to my face from the start. You waited until you had 2 drinks and then dropped hints like it's a game. Sierra's eyes watered. I wasn't trying to hurt you, she insisted. I thought I was helping. Helping, Yandy repeated, incredulous. You call this helping? You're tearing down my house without realizing it. If you really cared, you'd come to me privately, sober, with facts, not like this. Bye, now. The room was boiling over. Fans later described it as one of the most uncomfortable scenes of the season. Nobody knew whether to step in or let them fight it out. Yandy's phone buzzed again, and she held it up like proof. This is my life. This is my marriage. If there's a problem, I will know before anyone else. Don't play with me. But Ciara muttered again. I heard him say some things. Yandy shot to her feet, slamming her hand on the table. Then say it. What did he say? Word for word. Don't dance around it. The room fell dead, silent. Ciara blinked, fumbling with her words before shaking her head. I can't. I just can't say it. I don't want it to come from me. That was the breaking point. Yandy's voice cracked as she shouted, then keep my husband's name out your mouth. Because you're not just hurting me. You're hurting my kids, my family, my peace. And for what? A rumor you can't even back up. The intensity of her outburst left everyone shaken. It wasn't just about the rumor anymore. It was about betrayal, friendship, and respect. And that's how one drunken confession spiraled into chaos. No receipts. No facts, just confusion that cracked open wounds no one expected. After the explosion, the energy in the room shifted completely. No one could sit comfortably. No one could pretend this wasn't serious. The air was thick, heavy, like everyone was waiting for the next blow-up. Some castmates quietly sipped their drinks. Others looked away, but the cameras captured it all. Yandy stood tall, her chest rising and falling as she tried to calm herself. Hands shaking slightly, eyes filled with both anger and hurt. Ciara slumped back in her chair, muttering something under her breath that sounded like an apology but landed more like an excuse. I wasn't trying to start all this. I just thought you should know. Yandy snapped back, her voice trembling with fury. No, what? You still haven't told me anything. You embarrassed me, embarrassed yourself, and for what? You said there's a recording, but you can't even say what's on it. Do you realize how messy that makes you look? Ciara rubbed her forehead, guilt starting to settle in. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have kept it to myself. The room buzzed with whispers. One castmate murmured, she's definitely drunk, she don't even know what she's talking about. Another shook their head and whispered, nah, she knew exactly what she was doing. She just didn't think Yandy would clap back that hard. Fans at home had their own theories. Some believed Ciara really had something but chickened out under pressure. Others said she was simply looking for attention, using Yandy's marriage as a storyline. Many compared her to Karlie again, saying she had officially earned the title of Karlie 2.0. Later that week, the fallout spread. Social media lit up with clips of Yandy shouting and Ciara stumbling. Memes went viral. One showed Ciara holding an empty cup with the caption, no receipts, just vibes. Another showed Yandy slamming the table with the words, say it, with your chest or don't say it at all. Bloggers and gossip sites couldn't get enough. Behind the scenes, Yandy confided in a close friend. I feel betrayed. I trusted her, and instead of protecting me, she made me look like a fool on national TV. You don't play with people's marriages. Not mine. Meanwhile, Ciara tried to defend herself privately. I swear I wasn't trying to be messy. I just thought she should know what people were saying, but when I saw her reaction, I realized I should have kept my mouth shut. Her voice cracked as she admitted, I didn't expect her to go off like that. A castmate told her bluntly, if you don't have proof, you don't bring it up. Now you look bad, and she looks like the victim. Even Karlie weighed in during her confessional. Smirking, she said, everybody wants to call me messy, but look at Ciara. She's out here stumbling and bumbling like she knows something, but she don't. At least when I spill tea, I bring the whole pot. As the season unfolded, the drama grew heavier. Yandy told Mendeecees what happened, her voice tight with frustration. She said there's a recording of you, but she wouldn't tell me what it was. She just threw it out there and walked away. Mendeecees shook his head. That's ridiculous. If she had something real, she would have shown it. People just want to see us break. They've been waiting for years for me to mess up, for you to leave, but I'm not giving them that satisfaction. Still, the seed of doubt lingered, and that was exactly what made Yandy so angry. It's not even about me believing it, she said. It's about how it looks. Now everybody thinks there's something to hide, and I can't keep fighting rumors that don't even exist. At the next cast brunch, the tension cracked open again. Yandy crossed her arms, glaring at Ciara. So, are you sober now? Ready to tell me what you really meant? I told you what I knew. I don't have anything else, Sierra said nervously. Yandy scoffed. Then you shouldn't have said anything at all. You disrespected me, my husband, and my family. You can't fix that with I didn't mean it? Even Mendeecees stepped in this time, his tone firm. You don't play with people's families. If you really had something, you should have come to me as a man. But clearly you didn't have anything real? The room went silent. For the first time, fans saw Mendeecees openly defending Yandy on camera. And it shifted the tone completely. Finally, Sierra admitted in a shaky voice, I heard a voice. I thought it was him, but maybe I was wrong. That one line destroyed her credibility. Yandy slammed her hand on the table. So you admit you weren't even sure? You embarrassed me, dragged my husband's name, and now you're saying you don't even know if it was him. Keep my family out of your mouth. Fans later said it felt like the climax of a courtroom drama. Sierra's entire story unraveled, proving what many suspected all along: there was no recording. No receipts, just a drunk misunderstanding blown out of proportion. Clips of Yandy's explosion went viral. Hashtags like #TeamYandy and #NoReceipts trended for days. The blogs crowned Sierra Karlie Jr., and fans dragged her mercilessly. In her confessional, Yandy spoke coldly. Once you cross a line like that, there's no going back. I don't need friends who bring confusion into my home. I'd rather stand alone with my family than surrounded by people who don't respect it. By the season's end, the story was cemented. Yandy's outburst became iconic. Sierra's stumble became infamous. And Mendeecees' silence became a statement of loyalty. The bigger lesson wasn't just about rumors, it was about trust. It showed how fragile friendships can be when loyalty is questioned, and how half-truths can be even more dangerous than lies. Yandy walked away with her marriage intact but her circle smaller. Sierra walked away with a bruised reputation, carrying the unwanted label of Karlie 2.0. And fans walked away with one question: can a friendship survive once betrayal is caught on camera?